On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa.
Hell no!
Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Time once again. Welcome to the first day in May edition of Snowman and Morning with Cole Johnson. I am, well, not the Snowman, obviously, Cole Johnson. Good morning to everybody at the BS3 Network fam. Thank you to CSTV. Thank you to WKEE who is listening out in Noonan, suburb of Atlanta, GA. Everything is lovely over here. And we're about to get things started. We're going to do a special whooper. Of course, we have a lot of things to cover. A Game 7 NBA happened. 2 Game 1s in the in the conference semifinals, I should say. One in the Western, one in the Eastern. Got it away. But we're going to start this whoop around with a couple of Game 7s in the NHL. How about we start out west, shall we? The Seattle Kraken. They faced off against the defending champion Avalanche, and they had a 2-1 lead, and it got threatened with a Nathan MacKinnon score in the third period to make it 2-2 in the third. But the play was ruled offsides. So the Kraken held a 2-0 lead in Game 7. And basically, the Kraken held on for dear life. As the final score was 2-1. They won the series 4-3 against Avalanche. So the defending champions go bye-bye. And the Kraken, they now face the Stars. So they traveled to Dallas from Denver. Well, it's an amazing feat to see an expansion team get this far this soon. And look, just a wonderful effort from the goaltender, Philip Grobauer. I mean, he was just kicking one shot against him after another. Look, you save 33 shots in a Game 7 of a Stanley Cup playoff game. You are a netminder doing your thing. And the counterpart, Alexander Gorviev, stopping 25-27, that isn't bad either. The Avalanche was good. The Kraken was just literally a slight bit better. So it's unfortunate that the Avalanche now are the first defending champs to lose in the first round, since the Blues did this feat against the Canucks 3 years ago. Well, wonderful. Congratulations to the Avalanche, but of course you get the run it, boom, trash treatment. Hope your 2023 season ends on a wonderful note, but maybe not from April 30th, maybe from a little bit later. On to other news. Pizzle in the house, he says, how about those Florida Panthers? Well, let me get to that. So the Panthers were down 2-0 to the President's Cup champions, the Boston Bruins. They fiercely fought back. They switched victories, and then they get to a Game 7. And the Panthers rush out to a 2-0 lead. And then the Bruins rush feverishly back and get a goal in the beginning of the third, well, roughly, about 4 minutes into the third, making it 3-2 in favor of the Bruins. So they held that lead all the way until the final minute of the game, or at least regulation, where the Panthers put forth an empty net threat. And they, of course, for those who don't know hockey, that means instead of having 4 on ice and 1 at goal, it means it's all 5 that's on ice and no goalie. So they scored a goal within a minute to go in regulation to force overtime. And then with 11 minutes to go in the first overtime, a wonderful, wonderful wrist shot goes right through the wickets, and the Panthers go on. Oh, man, it's amazing. So this is historic from the standpoint of the Bruins won 65 games. The Bruins scored 135 points for the season. Both are season records. But what did I say to you guys about President's Cup champions? It's good that you're the best regular season team, but normally when that happens, those teams that face you will give you their best shot because they want to make history and eliminate you. Well, Mr. Carter Verhaeghe did just that, and he ended the Bruins season prematurely. Congratulations to the Panthers. I hope everything goes well for them. Even though the Bruins go home, the Panthers now travel north of the border. They face off against the Maple Leafs. They face off Tuesday night. As far as the Kraken, they go to Dallas. They also face off Tuesday. And that concludes the special edition of the Whip Around. Before we take our first break, we're going to go to the Fanatic Feedback Zone. Hawk TV says, good morning, in the same with a Pizzle, who, of course, he's from the West Palm Beach area. That means you know he's lit this morning. Ryan says, good morning, Snow Crew. Get ready for a lot of 21 Trace salutes this morning. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Boston Bruins. Ready? Aim. Ho! Trash! See ya. Andrew, good morning. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this game at the bottom of the first hour with, of course, our Coffee with McCarthy guest, Ryan McCarthy. Because, yeah, I would be nervous for you too, sir, no matter if you're a Devil or a Ranger. Of course, A Pistol gets the shout out from Andrew. Victor, he says, happy May Day to Mr. Cole Sports. With a Z. Good morning to you, Victor. Hope everything's good with you. My Mentality fam, stuck on my podcast, a.k.a. Wise Ed Hefe, says, good morning to you, brother. Hope everything's good with you. He says good morning to everyone as well. And Velox says good morning to you, Wise. And Velox says good morning to A Pizzle and Ryan McQuaffy. And of course, we'll talk about this a little later. Game 7 is winner go home tonight. All right. Everybody's saying good morning in the chat. I'm loving it. And straight and simple, we dealt with 2 Game 7s in NHL play with another tonight. We are going to talk about a Game 7 that happened in NBA yesterday as we roll on this Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. I might get a little help while I do it. Come on back, why don't you?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high-five strangers guy, game-winning interception, first down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for Monday. Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Cause we take this job so serious.
The f*** is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Well, I believe that's what the Avalanche and the Bruins said last night. And also yesterday afternoon, that is what the Kings said. And we're going to be talking about Game 7 of the first round, the only one that happened in the NBA annals for this year in the first round. I will continue on doing it, but before I do that, I must bring on a guest. No, not Crawford McCarthy, another guest.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic black. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you help me in welcoming the hottest content creator that I know, Darnell Solins, a.k.a. a.k.a. the Playmaker. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm going to let you off the hook for Friday. I'm going to let you off the hook. It was your birthday. I'm going to let you off the hook for Friday.
What do you mean, let me off the hook?
It was about you, but when Bay said what he said, you switched it and turned it into me. I was like, really? He don't even think about me Friday, but nah. Cole want to put me in it. I'm like, really?
Well, I wanted him to have good feelings. He didn't. He said he felt bad about Off the Rails, although yes, the show was off the rails the second half of Friday. But I was like, okay, well, I'll put it back on the rails a little bit.
Y'all are never on the rails on Friday. There's no way to get it back on the rails on Friday.
No, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. Oh my goodness. Man.
I think me and McCarthy gonna be trading receipts when he also.
Really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna be trading receipts because what happened this weekend? Very interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of very interesting. So, Game 7, Sacramento. The Kings hosted the Warriors, and the first half it looked like it was a nip and tuck battle. The Kings looked like they were ready to throw whatever challenge the Warriors threw, and it looked as though the Warriors, pretty much for the exception of Curry, just couldn't offensively get going. But that second half was a different story. It was If it wasn't Gary Payton II with block shots, it was Kuminga getting every single rebound known to man, and then you had Curry who put down 50.
So, because Cole gonna laugh because I put it on Facebook. Chef Curry was in Sacramento serving up a 50-piece Sunday dinner. Everybody on the Kings got some.
Yeah. And there was somebody who had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to opine earlier in the series. I think this was back in game 2. Quote, Curry isn't clutch. Close quote. Well, a road game 7 where you score 50 points and did another teammate even score 20? If so, it may have been Wiggins. But outside of that, the second highest scorer on the Warriors yesterday's game was a far distant second from the 50 that Curry put up.
Now in most game 7 we look at we'll look for the difference person in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you want the X factor. You know what the difference was in that game? The star for the Golden State Warriors dropped 50. The star for the Sacramento Kings didn't even get to 20.
That, I think, is where I go with the defensive part. So you had De'Aaron Fox, who in the first half seemed to do okay. The third quarter seemed to almost recede in the background, and then in the fourth quarter just straight up disappeared. And I'm not saying anything disparaging about him. It was, I believe, the Warriors defensively said, okay, Kings, if you're going to beat us, De'Aaron Fox is not going to be the guy to do it.
You know what the Sacramento Kings learned? I'm pretty sure Mike Brown was trying to tell them this, but this lesson
didn't take.
No, this lesson you can't be told. You have to witness this lesson. You know what the lesson is? There's levels to this.
There are levels to this, exactly. There are levels to this. I think that's what they learned. And they seem to be ready for every other level, at least in this round. But desperation, not so much, or at least Game 7 desperation, which, of course, those are waters they have never traveled. But the Warriors, both at home and on the road, have won Game 7s.
By the way,
that is not unfamiliar territory for them.
Golden State won 2 road games.
Yeah, and so but to me, that puts to bed the Warriors can't win on the road this year, even though they were horrible in the regular season. They won, and not just 2 road games, they won games 5 and 7 on the road. So the two more pressure-packed road games they won. So the Warriors decided to dig deep. They put forth their championship panties, and they just simply went to town. And in the second half, they played like a team possessed, or I should say, Curry offensively played a team like a team possessed. The Warriors as a whole on defense, they shut the Kings down. They forced Domantas Sabonis to tough shots. They forced every other jump shooter of the Kings to just settle for threes. And it was a really good display of watching a good team face off against a championship caliber team.
What year Steph Curry is in? What, 15?
This is 15th year.
15 year. You know how we loaded LeBron James for getting the scoring record and all that stuff, and how to go be paying attention. But guess who dropped the most points in the Game 7 in NBA history?
That would be Stephen Curry. And he
when
did
it
that
counts
yesterday.
the most.
Yeah, and he did that yesterday.
Steph Curry shows you who he is.
Yeah. And for those who want to claim that this guy wasn't clutch, and because he didn't win a Finals MVP until last year, that he wasn't elite, we need to shut that up and silence people. And mind you, neither Playmaker nor I are Warriors fans, but we just tell the truth. Curry is on a mission to prove that what I have said about the Warriors has been true all along. Ever since 2009, I'll give him 2010. He has been the straw, the stir, the Warriors drink. And when they needed him the most, the Warriors got exactly what they needed from their number one guy.
You know, the funny thing is, and this is something that a lot of people don't even talk about, but I'm happy SportsCenter brought it up. Watching SportsCenter late last night when I got home from work, you do realize ever since the Warriors started winning the championship, they have not been outside of the playoffs unless it was in the finals.
Yeah. If they get to the playoffs, they get to the playoffs, they're going to the finals. At least they have ever since 2015. Yeah. It was those lessons they learned.
I'm going to say, think about that. Ever since they started winning championships, they have not been nowhere less than the finals.
It is those lessons that they learned in 2013, 2014, where they went to the Western Conference semifinals against the Spurs in 2013, and they played a 7-game series against the Clippers in the first round, and both series they got bounced. It was those two big-time lessons there they learned in the playoffs where it has really helped them ever since then. Because from 2015 on, I agree, it's been basically finals or bust for the Warriors. And it's amazing. It's amazing when you think about it. And that nucleus of Curry, Thompson, and Green, it's been the glue. Along with Kerr coaching them, it's been the glue.
And by the way, and Victor, thank you for that. I'll do it for you. To beat the champs, you must unseat the champs.
Ooh. Van Boy, shut up. Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's do that for Snowman one good time.
I know.
Because he would have did it. I know it.
Oh, Lord. Back to the finance feedback zone. Hall TV says, Yo Kang has built up his tolerance by dining on various curries throughout the world. Yo Kang will be ready come next round.
Now, Hawk TV, I'm ready to surprise some people here. I'm actually with you on this one.
Well, I'm with them on...
Because the way LeBron walked off in Game 6,
no,
LeBron's like, no. I'm already on the next round. I'm not playing.
No. Forget the Grizzlies. Those children don't matter.
No, I'm saying how he walked off.
Like, I know. Them children don't matter.
Oh, they gonna get them and shooting lights out. Oh, trust me, I'm better than that.
Yeah, as I said, them children don't matter. What does matter is the Lakers end up having 4 days off between that game and when they do face off and go to San Francisco to play the Warriors tomorrow night. That is huge. Now, the rest of the series, that's going to be a different story. And we're going to talk about different series with our next guest coming up. I think I need a drink.
This Coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
Ready, aim, pull, Trash.
And here to join us as he does every Monday of our number one, I wish I had the video creator when you will actually see it of the ready, aim, pull, Trash. No credentials required zone. Ryan McCarthy, how you doing, man?
Playoff hockey. I love it. I love playoff hockey.
Hold on. We got a important question to ask though. What's the brew today?
It's Invader Coffee, and I mixed together some of the Chocolate Lust and the Day of the Dead. So I guess you could call it Chocolate Death. I can't think of another creative name for it. So
Invader Coffee, the official coffee of No Credentials Required and Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
All right, when you got to retrieve receipts
for?
You told me about my Tampa Bay Lightning. Unfortunately, these.
Okay. All right.
Nut jobs.
Before
Fluid.
we trade receipts, let's.
I'm very confused.
Before we trade receipts.
I haven't had a sip of my coffee yet. Let me just get some coffee in before we trade receipts.
Before we trade receipts. So we got a chance to witness, and I'm glad you actually said this. We got a chance to witness yesterday 2 Game 7s where both road teams advanced.
Mm-hmm.
And now tonight we get a third, and it will be the third and final Game 7 of the Stanley Cup first round in 2023, where your Devils host the Rangers.
This is not at the Garden.
No, it's not.
No, it's in the Prudential Center in Newark. So, tell me, sir, how do you feel going into tonight's Game 7?
All right, Waz, you can answer that too.
I'm nervous as heck. Especially because it's against the Rangers. It's a crosstown rival.
Yeah.
So it's Game 7. It's on the line. It's the first time we've had a Game 7 against the Rangers since 94.
94?
94.
The Eastern Conference Finals. Wow.
Eastern Conference Final. Yeah.
That's one of the most legendary playoff series I've ever seen. That one in particular.
And my toes skate was still in the crease. I 30 years later, he's still
I'm about to see. It's almost 30 years later, and you're still a little salty about it, huh? Wow.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
And to answer your question, Playmaker, why is this going to be epic? What are the keys to what is keys of victory for each team?
For the Devils, it's to repeat games 3, 4, and 5. They played such good defense 3, 4, 5. Jack Hughes has got to get scoring. Jesper Bratt has to get scoring. For the Rangers, it's just keep doing what they're doing. They stomped on the Devils the first 2 games, then stomped them in Game 6.
Game 6.
They got to get their power. They got to keep scoring the power play because in games 3, 4, and 5, the Devils I think allowed no power play goals and I think 11 chances. So the Devils just got to keep doing. They got to play their strengths, and the Rangers got to play their strengths. It's going to be, and it's. I'm hoping that it's not a blowout for either side. I want to see a close game. I want to see games like last night's games. I'm hoping that comes to it because like the last time the Rangers had a Game 7 it was last year against Carolina, and they curb stomped them.
Yeah,
absolutely curb stomped them, and it was non-climactic. It was anticlimactic. It was fait accompli by the second period. So I think we're in for a close matchup tonight. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the best team win. That team being the New Jersey Devils.
Well, and before we get to, oh Lord, another who has a vested interest is Andrew. He says, "I'm a nervous wreck over here."
Yep.
He says, "Lindy better not switch the lineup at all."
Nope.
He says it also comes down to limiting the penalties, which for any big time game, whether we're talking about whatever sport, it definitely is about who makes the least amount of mistakes. And whoever does it helps and lends to a W. So I'm assuming if you were to put on your analyst hat and take off your fan hat, you'd probably say the Devils will advance. I will ask this. The winner advances to play Carolina. Who do you think would be a better matchup for the Hurricanes?
It'll be the Devils. As analytically speaking, it's the Devils because I think they won the season series this year, if I'm not mistaken. Devils struggled against them early, but once they start to come together, I know Carolina has they have some of their best players are battling injury or they're out for the rest of the year. Was it Svechnikov who's out for the rest of the year? So it's I think New Jersey would be a better matchup for Carolina in terms of who would win that series. I mean, the Rangers, you can say the same for the Rangers too.
Mm-hmm.
You can say the same for the Rangers too. The Rangers they play heavy. They play a heavy style of hockey. They got big up front. They've got big time players up front too. They got Tarasenko. They got Kane. We all know how much Snowman loves his Patrick Kane.
Oh yes,
so,
yes, former Black Hawk. He definitely
former
loves,
Black Hawk. Yeah,
definitely loves
so
Patrick Kane. Mm-hmm.
So I either one of these teams could beat Carolina and advance to the Eastern Conference Final. But it's just going to be I'm more interested right now in the Atlantic. What's happening in the Atlantic between Toronto and Boston?
And Florida.
I mean Florida.
Oh. Okay. So you must have a Bruin either fan or hater that you know that you want to rub in the face of.
No,
for you to say that.
I'm just tired of Boston sports fan.
Oh Lord. Oh good Lord. Why'd you have to say that?
See,
I work with a fellow. I work with a gentleman where all I have to do is mention Boston and he will say Boston. Isn't that right, Mr. Stuck in My Mind?
Between the city of New York and the city of Montreal, I don't know which one of these cities is more cumulative this morning. I'm not the only one. Just right-wise, you're not. Between the Yankees and my Yankees fandom and my Jets fandom, we share the same mind.
Yeah. You all are screw Boston. Gotcha.
See, now remember when we talked about the Boston Bruins and how everybody was fluctuated with the Boston Bruins. They're gonna get the record. They're gonna do it. I'm like, that don't mean nothing when it comes to the playoffs. I have seen teams who have wanted to be in my turn, but like one of them who got ousted in the playoffs.
What did I say? I said just because you win the President's Cup does not guarantee that you're going to win it all. In fact, you might get bounced in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen more recently get bounced in the first round than have advanced and win it all. And we see yet another President's Cup champion get bounced in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
But I see that nobody gave them a chance.
And Andrew joins in with both McCarthy and Wise in saying hashtag F Boston. And Andrew, if you're not watch mentality, you'll be proud of Wise because whenever we talk about Boston, he leads off with that.
And let me ask McCarthy this question though, because this is something that I noticed about my Tampa Bay Lightning. If Game 4 doesn't happen the way it does happen, does Tampa Bay win that series? Because I believe after Game 4, because I know my Lightning, after a loss like that, they can't get back up. They just can't get back up after a loss.
That's a great question, playmaker. Who knows? It's how the Lightning pulled a Maple Leafs in Game 4 is beyond me.
Pulled a Maple Leafs.
It's beyond me.
That's what they did.
They did. I know, but I'm very that team with that caliber, with that many veteran players. You're the Eastern three-time defending Eastern Conference champ.
Thank you.
And you couldn't get out of the first round this year because you had that epic collapse in Game 4.
Thank you for not doing it, Booker T. Josh Mahler, welcome to the fam, sir. I hope you continue to be part of the fam. He says the winner of the Rangers Devils may win it all. I just don't see another team tough enough to make it through. I'll say this: these first 6 games between the Rangers and Devils, physical. I mean, that's all I can say. Physical.
I would say this.
And that's right down my alley. Any type. I don't care if it's hockey. I don't care if it's football. I don't care if it's baseball. I don't care if it's basketball. But definitely hockey. I want to see physical play.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that look cute on the ice, it's like, okay, that's fine. I'd rather have one or two of those guys who can skate rings around people and can just give pressure onto the goal. But I want to see Muzz just get smashed. I love bruisers, and I love physical play.
That's what playoff hockey is all about.
And
the President's Cup team is ousted.
Yep,
that's right.
Your Stanley Cup matchup ousted.
Yeah. Defending champs.
The defending champs gone. Yeah. So yes, we have done the ready, aim, pull, trace to the President's Cup champ and the defending champs. And now
you're gonna get a whole new Stanley Cup matchup.
And now we get to the receipts. Now, what were you talking about with receipts, Playmaker?
Oh, I have one more thing to add. So, fun fact
go ahead.
about that Seattle Colorado series. Seattle scored first in every single game of that series.
Well, it's important to start strong.
Yeah, and they led the league in first goals.
And
Scored first goals.
thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Ryan. You now have made Wise feel right at home when he says couldn't happen to a better team than the Bruins. Boston. I just might throw him a bro.
Really? You can end it like that,
Bro.
right there.
By the way, Wise, you'll be happy to know that Dave Portnoy was suffering on Twitter last night during this game. He was suffering.
Wise. Next mentality episode, I might throw you a bone. I might have to have us talk a little bit about that.
You know what? Give Boston a letter salute.
Running, aim, Trace. A Pizzle, who's of course happy that the Bruins took an L because his Panthers advanced in spite of them. I mean, in lieu of them. He says, Boston Bruins, trash.
Boston Bruins, trash.
Boston Bruins,
Boston Bruins, trash.
Oh my gosh! All right, receipt.
Receipts.
What receipts do you need to exchange, Playmaker?
Yeah, what's going on,
yourself
Playmaker?
And
Yeah, I gave it because I sure didn't think my line was going to collapse the way that they did. I'm like, dang, really?
So you're not going to root for the Panthers in the next round?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would, but Toronto got over the hump, and you know how a team who finally get over that hump, that springs them forward.
Yeah.
So I think Toronto's going to be favored in this series coming up.
I don't know.
Florida, they do have home ice advantage, so yeah.
They have home ice, but that's not going to matter.
But I'm saying, but you learn no matter what
Florida
sport, you look at the history of sports, hockey, baseball, basketball. When that team finally gets over that one hurdle that they just can't get over, once they get over it, they feel like a whole new team.
You realize that 95% of Canada now doesn't like you anymore, Playmaker, do you? They hate Toronto.
They hate Toronto.
They hate Toronto.
It goes back to what Cole said earlier when Bill was talking about the Warriors. Me and him ain't Warriors fan, but we gonna speak the truth.
I know. Well, that's good for you.
But it's like it was. How long has it been since Toronto won a playoff series?
2004 was.
I was about
prior
to say
prior to this past weekend, it was 2004.
Almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
They finally won the playoff series. I'm just saying they might give them a little more boost now. They say we finally got over that hump. Now we can rock and roll.
And are they and are the Maple Leafs feeling sad that they're not facing off against the Bruins?
Bishop Bullwinkle, can you answer that question?
Good call on that one, Ryan. Good call on that one, Ryan. Sing it, bitch.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
Why it says in Boston's case, they trash.
See,
Oh my
you're not going to contain Wise on when it comes to Boston.
What did
Cole
I do?
Cole can't even contain Wise when it comes to Boston.
What do I do? What did I start with Bizarro Wise? I tell you. Yes, I ought to do just mention Boston, and he just goes off.
Because Bizarro Wise.
Bizarro Wise just gets he just gets going. I can't say I hate it. I love it. Sig says, Sig Dicky all the way from Norway. Good afternoon to you, sir. He says, I'll allow it this time, but please keep it clean, Wise.
Now when it comes to Boston, that ain't happening.
That's not happening. Oh, and Victor, he says, and now Ryan McCoffey is trying to summon Bizarro Wise.
I need to, if I was oh my goodness, I just had a thought. I need a prop urn.
A prop urn
to summon Bizarro Wise, like Paul Bearer. Like Paul Bearer.
Oh, not a prop urn. Oh Lord. prop earn. Victor, another one of the genius ad writers, along with Ryan and Sick. He says, "This is a public service announcement. This is a public service announcement from Wise and the crew, Boston. This has been a public service announcement from Wise and the crew." Oh, all right.
Man's going in on Boston.
Okay, so.
But to answer your question, Ryan McCarthy, if one of the Panthers was to, upset another team, I won't be sharing a tear at all.
And neither will a pizzle.
Nope.
But there was a figure that made me ill when I saw Game 6 between the Rangers and the Devils.
Oh, boy.
Up on the screen, I saw 20,000 blue shirts welcome an idiot who drinks.
You talking about the same one that welcomed him in the game yesterday, which we're gonna get into after we get done with Ryan McCarthy. Oh, I ain't.
Yeah.
Oh, New York. I'm sorry, Watts, but your Knicks got to get it after the break. Your Knicks got to get it.
But yes, they were greeting the idiot who drinks ayahuasca, picks feet, and talks ill and blames every teammate on the man in Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, guy. He's a Jet now.
He's so much of a joke, it's not even funny. But congratulations on the Jets signing Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not going to talk about him. I just had to mention how ill he makes me, period. But I do want to talk about your Jets and the 2023 draft. What are your impressions?
They didn't need to be flashy, and they weren't. Not last year. They had to make splash picks. They had to, excuse me. They got the 3 first rounders. At the 3 first rounders, they got Breece Hall. I mean, pretty much every single draft pick contributed to that 2022 team.
Right.
This year, they didn't really have to go flashy. They didn't have to go for the big name. You saw they picked Will McDonald in the first round.
Right.
Some people call it, some pundits, I'm putting in air quotes.
Right.
Thought it was a reach, thought it was a panic pick because all the four premier tackles got selected first. But if you watch Will McDonald's game film, that kid is a freak. And Joe Douglas tends to go for the athletic freaks. He tends to go for the guy with the high RAS score, the raw athletic score.
Mm-hmm.
So he got that guy. He's got McDonald. He got the kid from Pitt. They selected in the 4th round. Who's going to take a little bit of pressure off of
Breece Hall.
Take a little bit of pressure off of Breece Hall, especially since we don't know when he's going to return during the season. They got Joe Tippmann in the 2nd round. Mm-hmm. The mulleted cowboy, as I call him. It was just a great pick. They got another tackle. They're building the trenches. They're putting depth in the trenches, which is where you need it the most. So They got the center for the future, who's a lot of Jets fans are calling the next Nick Mangold. It could be true. It could. We'll see. But I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for the season.
So you think Joe Tippmann is the next Nick Mangold? That's interesting.
I didn't say that. I said a lot of Jets fans are saying if he turns out to be the next Nick Mangold, awesome, great, love it. But I think he'll be a starter. I'm not sure if he's going to win the job outright this season because they just re-signed Connor McGovern.
Oh, he's going to see time. He's going to see time on the field this year.
He's going to definitely see time on the field, especially if injuries start. Please, Lord, no injuries on the offensive line, please. This year,
how about no?
Get to swing McGovern to the guard and have Joe Tippmann play center.
You might want to rephrase that to no injuries to your team. Period.
No, I mean, yeah. The 2 of their best offensive players got injured last year. The whole season just crazy.
After 6-3, wonderful 6-3 start, it just went because of that. Yeah, it's true. So out of all the draft picks, which was I think 7 that they actually took in this weekend, which one do you think will make the immediate impact like a Sauce Gardner and a Garrett Wilson?
I think it's going to be Tippmann.
Okay.
I think about Tippmann. I mean, hey, you shush. Another reason was to my cat's going crazy for some reason. The one reason why they picked McDonald at edge in the first round is because I think Carl Lawson's going to be a cap casualty eventually, and I don't know if they're going to re-sign Bryce Huff, who has also made a pretty big impact on the Jets pass rush last year. We had that sack against the Bills that had them upset the Bills in week 9. That caused Josh Allen's elbow to kind of turn inside out. So
and that probably messed the rest of his year up.
And that definitely messed up the rest of this year. Oh, by the way, did the Buffalo Bills do anything to address their run game?
That's a rhetorical question. Don't you answer that.
No, I'm grunting because it upsets me that they seem to not want to address it.
No, they don't.
Somebody take Victor. Somebody get Victor.
Oh, I'll get to Victor. I saw it. I'll get to Victor.
No, I'm saying somebody get him out of here.
I'll get to Victor because he going buck wild. He going buck. I like it. He's going buck wild.
He is. I love it.
All right. I love it, and we love you, sir. I know that unfortunately, I know you would love to hang, but I know your time is valuable and precious.
Yeah.
So tell us where we can find you, and what are we going to see on now? No credentials required. Monday nights.
Monday nights. That's right. 7 p.m. starting tonight. We're going Monday nights from now until Labor Day, 7 p.m. Eastern on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter channels. We're hoping to get more subscribers on Rumble so we can live stream to Rumble as well. Just another platform to stream on. And yeah, so if you can't catch it on, you can catch it on the replay, but you also catch the audio side if you want to listen on podcasts. I might do a draft special / Aaron Rodgers reaction special with my buddy Dan, who's in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, Cole. Hey, listen.
You said Aaron Rodgers' reaction. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm going to say this: if the Jets win the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to be insufferable. I just want to warn you. Just want to warn you guys.
All right, so
New Yorkers will be insufferable. We already know.
I mean, we're already insufferable enough as it is, right, Wise?
All right, so let me go to the calendar here. Next Super Bowl is in February. Okay, that means that Monday take off if Jets win. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said if. I didn't say when. I just said.
I said if Jets win. So that means I will be in my living room.
But that's the hope. Yeah, you're gonna be like Snowman in 2016 during the World Series Game 7. Hunkered down with beer and pizza in my room.
But that would require the Jets to actually have a solid quarterback, which they still do not have. That is Ryan McCarthy. I'm sorry.
Give me some of Nurse MSD's. Give me some of Nurse MSD's incense.
I'm sorry. It's Ryan McCarthy, who's a wonderful brother of ours. Brother, yes, joining us on Coffee with McCarthy and Snowman in the Morning, Cole Johnson. Have a wonderful rest of your week, brother, and be blessed.
Thanks, fellas.
I hope to see you again out to chat later on this week and today, and we will do this again next Monday.
That's right. Every Monday. Thanks, guys.
See you, brother.
You need a therapy session. You and Aaron Rodgers, y'all two need to go to therapy. Y'all need to work this out because.
Oh, hold on a second. So Sig Diggy says, "Do I have to sing Circle of Denial again?"
It's yes. Circle of L's, not Circle of Denial. Circle of L's. Okay.
Circle
and
of
Victor,
L's.
The one, and that's what the Victor.
I know. I'm getting to that one. Victor says, "We need a graphic of Aaron Rodgers slow motion running across the desert on his way to Pride Rock." And he says, "McCoffey's cat is now saying F Boston too." Wise says, hey, my team had another wonderful draft. And for those who don't know, his team is the Giants. Victor, again, he says, there's nothing to work out. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. We hear on that, sir. And he says also, fun fact, prior to the Boston Bruins loss, they gained a new sponsor. That sponsor is Shadow Realm Wireless. Let your voice be heard from everywhere the Shadow Realm resides. Now, including Boston.
You kind of put everybody in the Shadow Realm, Victor.
He probably is. He probably is. I need for New York fans to understand that the Jets have a garbage quarterback. Yes, he has all the talent in the world. Yes, he can throw in tight windows. Yes, he could zip a ball faster than a speeding bullet. Yes, he can throw the ball 50 yards downfield. Yes, he could do everything an elite quarterback can do. But the one thing this elite quarterback can't do is win in the biggest of spotlights. Woosah. You all need to understand that Aaron Rodgers sucks. Be at home with it. Be at one with it. Embrace it. Embrace the fact that now he is mediocre. I hate Aaron Rodgers. The one thing he should have done is the one thing he needs to do, and that's simply put, retire! See, there you go. I worked it out, Playmaker. And now, we introduce the man who is on location at a Starbucks near him. The one who is celebrating Anthony Richardson being the first-round draft pick of the Indianapolis Colts. The one, the only, the founder of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson and Snowman Multimedia, Brian Snow. Oh, I forgot, I'm sorry. And he is the transporter to cancer getting out, Brian Snow.
You just had to throw Anthony Richardson in there.
You know what? I threw that in. Listen, I threw that in there the day after the draft. Because if y'all check the YouTube channel, I put a little short up there about my thoughts of Anthony Richardson getting drafted. And you know something? The greatest part of all, my wife shares the same sentiment.
I figured she would.
Because her exact question to me this morning, when she said, who's the Colts draft? Because she was asleep when it happened.
Right.
Thank God. I said, Anthony Richardson.
Oh, by the way, Snowman.
Yes.
Didn't I tell you? Remember we talked about Anthony Richardson pre-draft? Remember, and I kind of told you, like, if they want a Jalen Hurts type, they was going to get Anthony Richardson.
You did.
All right. So your wife asks, who did the Colts draft? You tell her Anthony Richardson, and her response was, quote,
who in the bloody bleep is Anthony Richardson?
Close quote.
Now, you know it's something bad when my wife is basically using one of my phrases to pose a question.
I mean, does she watch college football?
She watches some, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that question.
I played the clip of me reacting to that. and we almost crashed the game. And she
Well-
said, is it that bad? I said, baby, this is the total opposite of Peyton Manning getting drafted in 1998.
Well, let's put it this way. Now the drunkard owner, Jim Irsay, has a project.
That is true.
And now that is the Colts' future for the next 5 years at least.
But I think when I'm thinking about Snowman and his wife, they want a quarterback that can play right away.
Mm-hmm.
Not somebody that they have to develop into the quarterback of the future.
Well, see, here's the problem, though. They thought they had that with Matt Ryan last year. They plugged him in, and he played right away, but he played right away from the field.
Carson Wentz the year before? Philip Rivers the year before that?
Well, Carson Wentz, he actually did a little better. He just decided to just not show up at the last part of the season that he played in Indianapolis.
He decided not to show up in Jacksonville. In the last
Of all places, yeah.
Of all places, on the last game of the season, when we needed him to be Carson Wentz pre-injury, and Jacksonville marched right down the field and put a foot in their ass.
That's a apt description of how that game went. Yeah. Yeah, because I think they didn't really realize what happened to him until it was the second quarter, and it's like, oh shoot,
we got to play.
We got to play, and we ain't got nothing for him.
Right? They were so ill-equipped.
Yeah, they were.
They were so ill-equipped for that game.
Yeah.
That after the first drive, my wife looked at me and I at her, and we both said, "I'm taking a nap."
Well, y'all did the right thing. I was probably more excited than the rest of that game was.
She looked at me like, "Look, I'm taking a nap. I've had enough." And that's after the first drive of the game.
First drive. Wow. So you didn't even get past the first quarter. Wow.
Forget the first quarter. After that drive, my wife immediately fell asleep. And I said, "Okay." I said, "All right."
Well, we hope that you aren't falling asleep, everybody. I know you're not, because this is the most exciting sports show there is on the planet. Hour number 2 of Snowman and Morning with Cole Johnson begins right about now.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his third year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2, was El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now.
With the playmaker, the Snowman on location, I am Cole Johnson. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And to brief up this brief Snowman on what has been transpiring, we of course talked about the 2 Game 7s in the NHL. The Boston Bruins got clowned, and therefore Boston itself got clowned in the Coffee McCarthy segment. We did talk a little bit about the Game 7 in the NBA, the Warriors beating the Kings by 20. And we talked about the Jets and their draft.
Oh, and I did your line for you, Snowman. I did your line for you.
Yes, he did your line for you.
Which is?
To be the champs, you have to unseat the champs.
Woo! No, I'm not gonna go into cold flare.
Give me this camera.
Oh
Give me this
Lord!
camera.
Before we give you the camera, let's give the people what they want. Shine. To the FNAF feedback zone we go. Victor says there's nothing to work out. Look, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I'm 100% with you, bro. I'm 100% with you. He also says, look,
Who
yep.
gives a flying half of a damn about Aaron Rodgers?
It says, yep, LA will be next when the Lakers lose. And
They should be already in the shadow room because of the other damn team.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I did a special Cudlib experience where I was basically trying to do a woosah moment about my hatred, or I should say, my facts about Aaron Rodgers, and so what did
I miss? Good Lord.
So Victor says Aaron Rodgers isn't mediocre; he is weapons grade trash.
Can we get a 21 gun? Can we get a 21 gun salute for Aaron Rodgers, please? Because this season's over.
Running, aim, pull, trash. Aaron A Pistol says Aaron, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood trash.
Don't you ever disrespect Mr. Rogers' neighborhood again.
Doggone A Pistol. Why says I'm over here on the floor dying. And that was tight when I was doing. That was tight when I was doing the Cudlib experience focused on Aaron Rodgers. Ryan McCarthy says he sent that cancer to Hades. Yes, Mr. Snowman did.
I sure did.
CSTV.
All is clear.
All is wonderful. That's great.
I had my 3-month checkup, did diabetes checkup. All is still clear. Good morning to the folks in Reno and All Points West.
All at 6 in the morning right now. We thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
I'm hearing a certain ESPN personality saying no in my ear a lot.
All right, so you gave me the grace to talk to the people. Now I will give you this camera.
Just a minute. I do not offer a 21 tray salute for the Sacramento Kings because they gave the Warriors the push that they needed to get through said series. And all it did, Laker fans, Baker fans, Braun sexuals, I cussed, I'm sorry, was piss them off.
It's Monday. Calm down. It's Monday.
Shut up, Playmaker.
I'm just saying, save it for Wednesday. Save it for Wednesday. You play Tuesday, save it for Wednesday.
Take the camera back because I'm going to start laughing.
I know.
I'm trying to help you out here. Okay? You play Tuesday, you can save it for Wednesday.
All right, so the NBA, they started their conference semifinals portion of the playoffs this weekend.
And
of course,
and the Suns are in trouble.
Who's the trouble Playmaker?
Phoenix is in trouble.
And I'm glad you went there because that's where I wanted to go first. The Suns got dog walked by the Nuggets, 125-107.
And they're going to get dog walked 3 more times.
And the troubling theme that I'm seeing is Durant is playing lights out and Booker's playing lights out, but nobody else is playing along with them lights out.
It's not just that. How many minutes did they play?
Well, Booker played 40 and Durant played 36. But
they
to
can't
me,
keep going like that.
I know. And I'm headed to that theme. So you have DeAndre Ayton, who he has to put some sort of dent into what Nikola Jokic can do.
That ain't gonna happen.
14.7 rebounds doesn't cut it.
Did y'all see my post? Did y'all see my post about that? If you didn't,
yes.
What, DeAndre Ayton playing small? Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton played smaller than LeBron in a world championship.
And the funny thing is, I ain't even get to watch the game because I had to work. I said, but damn, look by the statistics here, the Joker pumped DeAndre Ayton.
6-13.
24-19.
And credit to the thin bench of the Suns. They only gave him 24, but
And
To
Jokic
beat a
didn't
team as
even
deep as
play
the
that
Nuggets,
well.
you need to score more than 24 points off the bench. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
And Jokic didn't even play that well, and yet he gave him that.
No, he didn't play that well, but I'll take 24 points, 19 rebounds, and 5 assists from him any day of the week too.
I'll take that all day long.
And you're right, he didn't play all that well,
rebounds.
but he did have an impact.
And for you to say he didn't play out when he got 19 rebounds,
That's what I'm saying.
problem.
That's what I'm saying. I will take that.
And that's the point. I'll take
You said as a
24 and
Nuggets fan,
19.
you would take that.
I'll take 24 and 19 on a bad day than what DeAndre Ayton can do on a good day.
And I'll also take the leading rebound getter for the Suns being Kevin Durant, because that should not be the case. I'm not saying he should get boards. I'm saying he should not be your high board getter for the Suns.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
That's a huge problem.
DeAndre Ayton on the boards.
He dog walked DeAndre Ayton on the board.
Yeah,
He dog
that's
walked
a problem.
DeAndre Ayton for 48 minutes.
Yeah, that's a problem.
All right.
That's a problem.
He and the Nuggets dog walked the Phoenix Suns, and dare I say, if the Suns don't get it right in Game 2, the series
We
is
might see a
over
sweep. We
in
might see a
Phoenix,
sweep.
Arizona next weekend.
Yeah, we might see a sweep, especially if Jamal Murray can come up with another 34.9 assist performance too. Aaron Gordon, man, I gotta give you credit. I gotta give you credit, Aaron. You are coming up huge this season. 23 points and 6 boards. Oh, and a steal along with it, and then good bench play too. This is a warning shot to the Suns. You need to have more than Booker and Durant show up.
Monte wasn't going to have to do something.
You need to have more than those two to show up because you cannot have them. You cannot be praying that each of them score at least 35 each for you to have a shot to win, because you will tire both of them out. And that is what you're on the road to doing right now.
Can anybody say Brooklyn 2021?
Nobody on the Nuggets played 40 minutes.
Nope.
And they didn't have to.
They didn't need to. They put that away midway through the third period.
Mm-hmm.
They put that away midway through the third period.
No, they did. Yeah. That game was done. That game was done.
You better find somebody on that bench that's gonna help you out, because if not,
that ain't gonna happen.
And that's the problem, because we all three of us knew that bench is extremely shallow. Talking about the Suns bench, extremely shallow, and then you're going up against a team that's deep. That is not a good prescription.
and here's the thing: when Durant got traded to the Suns, we all sat here different days of that week and said, and he's going to do what for them?
The only thing he could do is score. That's it. But they already have a score.
This is the only time this week that I'm gonna mention this team name in a somewhat positive manner, because when I get to shoot myself, I'm embarrassing right now to the core. But for the people like Cole Johnson, Brian Snow, they picked Phoenix because of one person. I stuck with my preseason pick because of one person. And we both know after game 1, from what we saw, Suns might get beat by the Clippers, because if that dude stay healthy, it's over.
It's done. It's done.
But unfortunately, like Cole predicted, like Snowman predicted, he went down, and the Phoenix still had to fight their way through that series.
That's why I'm surprised. That's why I had to look at you strange, playmaker, when you went with sometimey Leonard. I just don't understand. I was like, he's actually hit you this whacker to sometimey? I mean, sometimey can play, but sometimey is worse than Uncle AWOL.
Sometimey can play when he wants to play.
Yeah, but he's worse than Uncle AWOL. I mean, because I take that back. No, he's not as bad.
Don't you ever
because at
put
least
those two in the same sentence.
Because at least sometime he does not want to have in his contract I only want to play 60 games and none of them back to back. So yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sometimey.
Listen, Uncle AWOL. Wait a minute. I feel myself. I feel myself wanting. I feel myself wanting to cuss, so I will be nice when it. I will somewhat be nice when it comes to Uncle AWOL. Give me the camera. Give me this camera. Uncle AWOL, aka the Rebel Without a Pause, aka Kyrie Irving, aka the supposed point guard.
Oh, good Lord.
Supposed.
I'll explain in a moment.
I've heard that too.
You almost made me cuss.
Don't blame me. Do not blame the messenger in this case. Uncle AWOL, you suck. You can't play basketball, and you learned it all from your homie to be and teammate to be next year. Oh, did I say that?
Oh Lord, yeah. You did make me throw up. Yeah.
Like I said, don't shoot the messenger. We all know better. They don't. I'll explain that on Wednesday.
I don't hate you for it because you are telling the truth. Because I agree. I think that's where he's headed next year.
There. The tea leaves are right. Listen, I'm drinking coffee, and I ain't supposed to, but given the fact that I don't have half of my equipment with me because I left it in my office, I improvised, and I needed this.
All right. Now that we got that out of the way,
now let's get to Sunday. Game 1, Madison Square Garden. The Knicks Heat. The Knicks, they did a wonderful job in the first quarter. They held it together in the second quarter, and then what happened in the third and the fourth?
Can I get Stephen A saying no? Because that's pretty much what he was saying in the second half.
I don't have the sound. I don't have the sound with me.
No.
Y'all want me to do it again?
No. 108-101 was the final score. The Heat are up 1-0.
And thank you, Kevin Love, for demonstrating what an outlet pass is.
And Kevin Love had key moments in that game.
He was in attendance for that game. He watched it.
Yeah, he had key moments in that game. 9 points, 5 boards, 4 dimes. He had key moments, and he hit key threes. Like you said, Snowman, he had key dishes and dimes.
Can you, EP? Can you quickly send the link out to Jay Spivey? Because, like I said, I don't have my full setup with me.
All right, let me see.
Jay, we're going to get you on here in about 9 minutes because he just texted me a moment ago, and of course I'm using my phone. I will figure this out, and I know Victor's going to yell at me too, as he's one of our wonderful producers. But this morning I had a doctor's appointment, which is why I'm on location and not at home, and we had to get up early. Y'all ever have an early morning appointment that you knew you had to go to, and you didn't want to go? Because I totally missed my alarm this morning, and my wife woke up and said, "What time do you have to be at your appointment?" And I said 7:50, and she says, "Oh, we better get ready to go then." I said, "What time is it?" 6:20. What? And it was an hour drive. But 108-101, the final at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. And the Knicks were in control of that game for 12, 24, 26 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say till the beginning of the third quarter.
They were in control for 26 minutes of that game. So if you get it with the 10-minute mark of the third period, that game
was all the Heat.
And I'll tell you the exact series it reminded me of. Go back to 2013, Knicks and Pacers, when the Knicks with the Stay Puft man Carmelo Anthony
not the Stay Puft
Listen, there were two Stay Puft men in the league once upon a time. Y'all know one, James Harden. The other was Carmelo Anthony. I'll talk about that later. But everyone expected the Knicks to just blow out Indiana, and Indiana slipped right into the Garden in Game 1 and snatched it from them. Does that remind you of that game?
Are we talking pre-broken leg Paul George then?
We're talking a prime time, pre-broken leg when Paul George actually knew how to play basketball correctly.
Oh.
Before the culture, before the old culture of the Miami Heat destroyed the Indiana Pacers culture, and I'm going to cut. Before they, can I say it?
No.
I won't say his name. I promise.
All right.
Before the referee swallowed their whistle and forgot what a travel was. I'll say it that way.
Okay.
I'll say it that way. I'll save all my cussing for Wednesday when I'm in studio with 2 full bottles of water, because I'm going to cuss all day that day.
And
I already know that.
And speaking of when referees forget to whistle on travels, Victor says, it is not Uncle AWOL, rebel out of cause, etc. It is pronounced Kyrie Pinkett Smith.
They all apply. How about that? They all apply. They all apply.
What is up with you and Jaden Pinkett Smith?
Well, Victor said it best. I see a soldier here next to me, so I'm going to give him a proper salute.
Oh, Lord. Victor says, say it. Say it. I dare you. I double dare you.
You know what? And Victor knows, and you know the exact movie where that came from. You know the exact movie where that came from.
It's Colin Aaron. It's Snowman and the guy that his team got to play tomorrow, and it's Victor and Jaden Pinkett Smith. What the world?
You took the week off, playmaker. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
Everybody got a personal rivalry. Well, mine finally retired, so I'm good.
There you go.
Mine finally retired, so I'm good. I got no more personal rivalries.
Oh, Lord. Ryan, in the words of Sam Kidd, say it! Say it! Say it! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I'll stop there.
Man.
But why?
Now I'm gonna go see. Now I gotta look up that scene again.
Why? Why you starting out the game 1 as the Heat stole another home court advantage?
Backup question. How are you feeling? Backup question. How are you feeling before Game 7 against the New Jersey Devils?
I will say this about the Knicks. I think in that game you saw why they need Julius Randle. I think his presence off the court hurt them in the second half. You had Jalen and the others. They were able to score and they were able to defend a little bit, but for some reason it seemed to run out of gas in the second half, where they needed to have something else, and they didn't have that answer.
They were flatter than a pancake.
They were.
Well, here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest.
The Heat don't have Tyler Hero.
Here's the biggest.
Are we saying the Heat's a better team?
I'm not saying a doggone thing.
No.
It was the biggest key.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks got their ass kicked on the boards in the second half.
Yep.
They got killed on the boards in the second half.
To a smaller team.
That's part 1. Part 2, and this was the key to Golden State doing what they did to Sacramento in the second half.
You can say the same thing.
The Heat limited the Knicks to 1 and done the entire second half. I think the Knicks only had a total of 5 offensive boards in the second half. In the second half, 5 offensive boards. You're not gonna, and you're supposed to be a team bigger than the Miami Heat. This is 1997 all over again.
I mean, there was abysmal from 3-point range.
The Knicks. Let's just say facts here. The Knicks were absolutely abysmal on the offensive board. Abysmal.
I mean,
they were absolutely crunched on the offensive board.
They was +9 on the rebounding.
And
That was +9. It's the 3-point shooting for me.
but it's the second half. It's the second half where they were abysmal, absolutely abysmal. And we better take a quick break. Get in the queue from our senior producer. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll finish this discussion. Then we'll bring on Jay Spivey. Back after this.
Not too far.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts.
If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BrooksNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm sorry, I did that all wrong. I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God.
Brother guest, I'm
so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
With the Snowman on location and the Playmaker joining us as well, I am Cole Johnson. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. As we celebrate with the music in the background at Starbucks.
All right. Here's my 2 points when it comes to the reason the Knicks, right? First of all, 3-point shoot.
Well, yeah, it's off and on with them.
7 for 34.
It's off and on with them. It's feast or famine when they shoot threes. And what I don't like about them is when they start shooting threes and they miss, they keep shooting it, and that's a problem.
I mean, the Heat didn't shoot no better. They 13 for 39, but they hit 6 more than the Knicks.
And that's about the average you'd want for any team when they shoot from three. It's about 1 of 3. If you get 2 of 5, you're good. But 1 of 3, that's average. I can tolerate that. All right.
Here's the real sticking point. I'm glad somebody said this. But here's the real sticking point of the game 1. The Heat turned the ball over 9 times. You know how many points the Knicks got from turnovers? 8.
Well,
how much?
For 9 turnovers, the Knicks only scored 8 points off of them. Well, yeah, that is a problem. That can't exist in games 2 and onward.
You
but
can score more points than the turnover that you created.
Yeah. But what can exist, though, is a visit with a friend of ours down south. As he joins us every Monday, bottom of hour number 2, our friend of the show, Jay Spivey of Spivey Notes. How are you doing, sir?
Gentlemen, how are you doing?
How are you holding up, Jay?
Doing good.
Guys, first of all, I want to thank you, as you guys know, and I want to thank you guys for reaching out to me and sending your condolences over the weekend. Some of you know my dad died over on Saturday afternoon, so I want to thank all of your listeners and thank you guys for all the support you've given me.
Well,
Jay,
you
mean the world to us.
Yeah.
And through some point, we all have experienced what you've experienced. I went through it in 2007. I feel it every day, and I know you're going to feel it. I will say this honestly, as I've always said, whoever said time heals all wounds lied.
No, they don't. It don't.
No.
They
listen,
lied.
No.
My mom died almost exactly 9 years ago, and I still think about her every day.
I lost mine, and I lost my dad in 2007. I get it, and I think about my dad every day. And I lost my mom 2 years ago. I can't believe it's been 2 years since my mom passed. So we get it.
My mom will be in a week and a half. It'll be 9 years for my mom.
Yeah, it's a pain you can only get through. You can't get past nor over it.
No,
and nor should you.
No, you just listen. Talking about I lost my
guys. I know
best friend. It's been 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're gonna have a lot of fun today. I'm looking forward to it. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna dedicate my portion of the show today to my dad.
We definitely do that.
We'll keep doing it. All right, let's dive in. We know what the first pick was.
Bryce Young.
We all said it was going to be Bryce Young. We all said that. We kind of
and Carolina did disappoint.
Carolina did disappoint. But my follow-up question to Jay and to the panel, and y'all know where I'm going. What the hell happened after that?
Jay, first
Well, listen, as we talked about the last couple of weeks, as we kind of knew that this was what the direction they were going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good he is and how he pans out. He has 0 playmakers.
Thank you.
He just doesn't.
Well,
y'all know that I have railed on DJ Moore. He's not a number 1 receiver.
No, he's not.
But he was their best receiver.
True.
Yes.
He's no longer there as part of the trade with the Bears. So they have no receivers right now.
Well, okay, so now they try to fill the void with the draft pick out of Ole Miss and Jonathan Mingo. What do you think about him?
Well, I heard mixed reviews on him over the weekend. And some people said he's good. Some people said he was overrated. I mean, you don't know until these guys actually play an NFL game. Because heck, he could be the best receiver in college football, and be a bust in the NFL. It's
true.
a totally different game.
We've seen that quite a few times, especially recently. Especially recently. It's like you said, Jay.
He is a rookie. He is a rookie.
Yeah. Until proven otherwise, it's true. Yeah.
It's like you said, Jay. They did well in free agency, especially in snatching Adam Thielen.
And Miles Sanders.
We'll get to Miles Sanders in a minute because I don't trust Miles Sanders to be used correctly in Carolina.
Utilized? Oh, like Christian McCaffrey. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
You knew where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
You knew where I was going. And in the years that Jay and I have gotten to know each other and have become friends, we share the same thought process. And like I said, in the form of a question, what the hell are they trying to do? Because you haven't
do they know what
established. I can't say reestablish the culture in Carolina because quite honestly, there's never been.
Do they know what they're doing?
No, they don't. Neither do the Hornets. The Carolina Hurricanes are cool. They're trending at the Hurricanes are the only team trending in the right direction. You can't say the same.
This a couple months ago. They are the best run professional organization in North Carolina. The Panthers and the Hornets are not.
The Panthers and the Hornets are to use Jay's words. The Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets are dumpster fires. Period.
Yeah, they are.
They're dumpster fires
they
have the wrong people running the doggone thing. They have the wrong people running it. And you cannot have incompetence at the top of the food chain.
We say just look at the draft. Look at free agency.
Yep.
The better teams tend to run themselves better than anybody. Just look, the Eagles got way better over the weekend.
They are not. No, they are not.
What a draft they had.
They are no longer called the Eagles. They are called the Bulldogs.
What a draft they had. Ooh, man, that was beautiful.
The Georgia Eagles.
The Chiefs are much better than they were.
Yeah.
It's like there's 3 or 4 or 5 teams, and then there's everybody else right now. Because they run themselves better than any other program.
I will say this. I ain't gonna lie. If everything plans out the way it's supposed to plan out, Houston had a great draft.
They did.
No, they did.
Well,
they did.
CJ Stroud to play.
It's just a matter of It's just a matter of what we can see on the field after that. Yeah.
Listen, I understand the NFL is year to year. I get that. But next year's quarterback class is way better than this year's class.
A hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better. Because the first 2 that went, and we all discussed this, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young and then Stroud, 1 and 2. Then you're left with wondering.
Look at the Colts. Richardson's not any good.
Man.
But he has the he has the most upside of all of the quarterbacks in this year's class.
I'll respond to Cole by saying 4 simple words, and y'all know them well. And I see Cole smile in his face when he knows my next question. Who told this lie? And I'm married to a Colts fan. I support the Colts because of my wife and because of my daughter. All right, but as I told the story earlier when I got on site, if my wife is looking at me and asking who the hell Anthony Richardson is, and she didn't watch the draft, you can't tell me she's not in tune with the way we're feeling about the Colts drafting Anthony Richardson.
That's all well and good, but like I told you, Snowman,
And
it depends on who the coach is and what he's trying to do.
he's played
Yeah.
13 college games. The Colts
13.
desperately need. They have had 7 quarterbacks in the last 7 years.
Yes.
But to your point, playmaker, yes, I get it. Shane Steichen, who was the offense coordinator for the Eagles, now he's the head coach of the Colts. He's seeing Richardson as probably his next project, like he saw Jalen Hurts. Only problem with that is Hurts was a little more advanced than Richardson is now.
Hurts was a lot more seasoned. Yeah, Hurts was a lot more seasoned and played a lot more games.
Where the Colts messed up at, they didn't bring in a veteran quarterback. That's where they messed up. Now you have pretty much have 3 young guys fighting for a quarterback spot. And according to Richardson might win that job.
And according to the drunkard Irsay, Richardson just may have that job sealed up, no matter who's in the quarterback.
Well, he's gonna get beat to a pulp if that's the case.
He's going to
because he is not ready to play NFL football.
No, he is not.
I was gonna say game one, 2023 season looks like Richardson is going to be your starting quarterback for the Colts. Which that's not a ringing endorsement at all.
No, it is not.
It's not the problem they drafted Anthony Richardson. The problem is they ain't bringing another quarterback to help.
Well, they got Gardner. They have Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew's not it. He's not the answer.
Gardner Minshew, he'll be all right, but yeah.
He'll be okay. But Richardson is not ready to step in right away.
Oh, of course he's not. We all agree that there. No,
he's going to get absolutely pummeled.
But
unless they miraculously, and I do say miraculously, solve the offensive line issues, and they're nowhere close to solving the offensive line issues.
Just for Jonathan Taylor, they need to solve it.
Yeah,
that's the biggest disappointment right there. Because when like 2 years ago, they had like one of the best offensive lines.
Yeah,
they
2
did.
years ago.
And one of the best offensive lines, and Taylor had the most rushing yards of the season.
And just like that, it went downhill.
And the last 2 games of that season 2 years ago, they had a chance to let Jonathan Taylor run absolutely wild because they had the 2 worst rushing defenses, one in their house, the Raiders, the other on the road, Jacksonville, and they decided to go the opposite way in their game plan and not let Jonathan Taylor run wild, and it cost them. And since then, they have been circling the drain, and the problem starts up front. You want to see what's going to happen to Anthony Richardson this year? Look up front for the Colts. You want to see what's going to happen to Bryce Young this year? Look up front for the Panthers. Want to see, and I hate to say this to Cole, but Cole will agree with me, want to see what's going to happen to C.J. Stroud? Look up front for the Texans.
Well, listen, as I told you guys a couple times, I know the rules have changed. I get that. But no way these guys, these new quarterbacks, are going to be able to play 15, 20 years anymore. No way.
No.
Not the way they play, the way they run the ball, and they don't go out of bounds, and they don't slide. They're not going to play 10, 15, 20 years anymore.
And you just said something.
You're going to be more like RG3 than you're going to be anybody else.
You just said something, Jay, that is so true, that most quarterbacks do not do. Slide! And Lamar Jackson, I'm looking right at you.
They want the contact. They want the contact.
Because if
I can't say the test is reached on real levels. If you see Malik Willis, that's a problem. When your quarterback's intensity is Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill.
First of all, who the hell is Will Levis? I'm sorry. I am not sold on Will. I am not. Okay, I'll just go ahead and say it out loud. I'm not sold on this quarterback class.
I told
We
you that
get,
many
we
times.
get that. The problem is the team. Look at the teams that drafted these quarterbacks. They have no choice.
Well, no,
What
they did.
What
They
is gonna
don't.
do outside of Ryan Tannehill? Malik Willis showed he ain't nowhere near ready.
And they put him in anyway.
Because Tannehill got hurt.
Well, Tannehill's about to get jettisoned. With them trading up to get Will Levis, I bet you they do what the Colts are. I bet you they do what the Colts are going to do.
And by the way, that puts more ammo into Cole Johnson's firearm for the Titans.
Yep.
These all the quarterbacks are basically the same anymore. Whether they're 6'5" or 5'10", they're all the same.
Mm-hmm. They are indeed the same, and that should frighten you.
Whether you like his personality or not, look at what the Packers are getting ready to go through.
Oh, dear
he's
Lord.
ready to step in and be a number one quarterback.
No. Not a chance. Not a
Look at the
chance.
49ers. Look at the 49ers.
Yeah.
They're probably going to have to trade him because he's not going to start.
Nope. He's not going to start. Sam Darnold's going to start.
No, I'm talking about the 49ers.
Sam Darnold's going to start. But see, here's the difference. This is not the difference, but here is a difference between Sam Darnold with Frisco and Sam Darnold with the Jets or Carolina. This time, and I say this time because it's a one-year deal, Sam Darnold has weapons. Big difference.
Which has a clue, too.
Yeah, they have that. Jay, would you say that again, please? Please say that again.
He has a coach who has a clue because Shanahan at least has an offensive philosophy.
But I have a question about Sam Darnold, though. Despite all that you just said, will he still be seeing ghosts?
Will he still be what?
Will he still be seeing ghosts?
No. Hell no. Because I'll say it again, Sam Darnold has weapons to lean on, including a running game. And something brilliant that the 49ers did, because we all know they have to address depth on their offensive line. They signed 6 undrafted free agents, and 4 of them were linemen.
Well, look, guys.
And it's like you said, Jay. They have an offensive philosophy. They want to hit you hard.
Whether you like what they're doing or not, the 3 teams who I thought really got better and didn't really need to get a whole lot better were the Eagles, Chiefs, and 49ers.
Yep. They ruled.
That tells you the vibe between those teams and the other teams.
And the 49ers didn't even draft until day 2, until round 3.
Right.
They didn't draft. What they did was, and I started to catch this when I followed the second day of the draft, they stacked their defense up.
Right.
Because they were thin on both sides of the ball. They were thin on both lines. Okay? We agree there. They were thin on both lines. But they stacked up their defense. They stacked up their defensive line, and that started with the signing of Javon Hargrave from Philadelphia. They stacked up their defensive line, they addressed their secondary, and then through the use of undrafted free agents, they stacked their offensive line. Effing brilliant. Brilliant! You tell me there's not a culture in San Francisco that they don't want to punish you up front?
Of course, it's a culture in San Francisco. Hell, I go through it twice a
Look
year.
at the Eagles drafted all the Georgia players.
Yes.
The
Chiefs
getting better every year.
The Philadelphia Bulldogs.
What did you say, Cole, over the weekend? The pipeline from Georgia to Philadelphia? Look at the look on Cole's face.
Look at the Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs. They got better.
That's what we're seeing.
They have Mahomes. Yep. They listened to what Mahomes wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Defense got better. I mean, as long as Andy Reid's going to be there, they're going to be good.
As long as Andy as long as Andy Reid, the coach from Philadelphia, I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name right now. And Kyle Shanahan are there. Those are your three top teams. You can't trust Sean McDermott in Buffalo because he's going to run.
You're talking about Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni, thank you. Nick Sirianni, thank you. As long as Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni, and Kyle Shanahan are in charge of their teams, and they keep the staff that they have over them, and the staff allows them to coach their teams, no one else is going to touch them. You can't trust Buffalo because they're going to run Josh Allen to death. You can't trust Cincinnati because they're just so freaking immature. And we saw a lot of that in the AFC Championship game. Don't get me started on Green Bay or Dallas in the NFC. And we got about 90 seconds left. But
Dallas is Dallas. Green Bay don't have Aaron Rodgers.
I have a reason for that. Jay, can you join me this afternoon?
I probably can. What time are we talking about here?
2 o'clock.
No, I can't. I got lunch at 1:30.
Doggone it. Okay, I might play. Let me see what I can do. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Jay, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Condolences to you and your family. We know what you're going through, and anytime you need to talk sports, you let us know, and we're here for you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Jay. I can't push any buttons. I can't push any buttons.
I think that's on code to push buttons today.
What?
What is Cole Johnson at?
He's cooking. He's either cooking or he's in a meeting. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, tomorrow. More playoff basketball talk. Because game
yeah,
tonight
more sports talk.
The Celtics and the 76ers. Without
Look, that's a 4-game sweep. Philadelphia has nothing coming unless their culture. My parting shot is, unless their culture changes, the Sixers will never change. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. Always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are. We hope y'all are too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.